prepare phase of the data-wise improvement process, you lay a foundation for organizing for collaborative work and building assessment literacy. With this foundation in place, you're ready to move on to the inquire phase of the process. This phase begins with step 3, create a data overview. In step 3, you and your colleagues work together to pick a subset of your data and identify a question that will motivate your journey through the rest of the process. For many schools, this step may feel countercultural. Teachers may be used to being barraged with lots and lots of data and then being told they have to teach better. The data-wise improvement process takes a different tack. It challenges leaders to make some initial choices about what data to start with, and then allows teachers to pick a question that matters to them. This step has 4 key tasks: choose a focus area, analyze data and find the story, display the data, and allow staff members to make sense of the data and identify a priority question. The focus area is typically chosen by an instructional leadership team and is sometimes even handed down from the system level. For example, it may be that your school district has declared that all schools should focus on literacy in the coming year. If that's the case, by all means, choose literacy as your focus area. A focus area helps you know which of the data sources on your data inventory you should pay attention to first. Examples of focus areas include college readiness, critical thinking, and oral expression. Although there may be pressures to look at everything at once and improve everything right away, you will get better traction if you narrow the field and really focus your efforts on one area at a time. Basically, a good focus area helps you narrow the scope of inquiry, but is broad enough so that all teachers see themselves playing a role in it. The next key task, which is also done by the leadership team, is to analyze data and find the story. But what data should the team look at? Well, at this stage of the process, the goal is to create a high-level overview that shows how students are doing in your focus area. So data from annual performance assessments can be especially useful here. The leadership team combs through the reports, looking for patterns that might point to an interesting story or to a puzzle about student learning. The DataWise book offers strategies for analyzing data with an eye to finding stories. Let's take an example where the focus area is literacy. The team might find that although students can correctly answer multiple choice questions about a reading passage, they're not able to write effectively about the very same passage. Having identified this story, the leadership team's next task is to display the data in a way that allows a broader group to see this story clearly. This is where the old saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words," really rings true. It's not a great use of precious meeting time to have lots of people fumbling through tables of numbers. Instead, a smaller group reviews those numbers ahead of time and then creates a few simple charts that make the story in the data easier to see. If you have questions about how to make compelling data displays, the DataWise book provides useful guidelines. Data displays are then shared in a data overview meeting with a broad group of faculty, where you use your limited collaborative time to do the final key task of step 3, which is to allow staff members to make sense of the data and identify a priority question. Notice that this task provides space for teachers to find their own meaning in the data. Using a data analysis protocol at this stage can help engage everyone in the room and ensure a relentless focus on evidence. The goal for the leadership team is not to tell teachers what they should be seeing in the data, or to imply that the data overview itself contains any answers about how to improve learning and teaching. Overview data doesn't give answers about how to engage more effectively with students. But, if presented clearly, it can ignite curiosity among teachers about why the data looks the way it does. Once teachers have chosen a priority question that they want to learn more about, you are ready to move deeper into the inquire phase and tackle step 4, dig into student data. There are several challenges to creating a data overview. For example, the task of finding a story in the data can feel overwhelming at first. A data analysis protocol can be really helpful in addressing this challenge. The protocol breaks the process into manageable steps and invites educators to simply note what they notice and what they wonder about the data. By using a protocol, you can get lots of perspectives on the table and work together to figure out what story is most important to illustrate. Another challenge is that school leaders often feel a sense of urgency and a need to snap into action. It can be tempting to try and cut corners by telling teachers what the data says and what they need to do about it. But teachers are much more likely to buy into an improvement process if they have an opportunity to understand what the data show and ask questions about it. And getting a broad group of teachers involved from the start increases the number of good ideas that can be generated in service of student learning.